Alright, hello gamers and welcome to my brand new game room. This will be my 2017 tour. This is a completely different game room from what I had the last time I did a video. And I'm really excited to take everyone through it and just kind of show you the new setup and how everything turned out. I will say that overall it's a much cleaner look. I went more for accessibility of my collection, and I put a lot of like the knickknacks and the boxes and stuff away because at the end of the day I just want to be able to get to the game I want and play it easily and comfortably. So that was the goal here. So you'll see it's a very open end of my basement. We got the couch in the center. I do have some miscellaneous box stuff. I kind of did that for two reasons. One, I just needed to put it somewhere, and two, this couch is this weird piece that sticks out, and I stubbed my toe just brutally on it several times. Then I decided, you know what, I'll just put some stuff back here that I don't have space for, and then I'll save myself a little bit of pain too. So you got my box Nintendo, Super Nintendo organizer, GameCube carrying case with some Wavebirds in there, my Sega Game Gear, boxed Super Scope, and of course the almighty Game Wave Ultimate Home Video Console in box. Everyone's jealous of that one. So let's start over here. We'll start on the left side of the game room. This is the new setup. Got my couple Legend of Zelda posters. I didn't have room for all the three in the set. And then going across the top here, I've got my Intellivision Flashback, Vita games, my boxed Pocket Station, very happy with that one. I got that about a year ago in Costa Rica on a business trip. My PlayStation games. Now, you might be wondering why I have a bottle capper in my game room, and I used to homebrew quite a bit, and I also used to collect games, and my wife finally was like, you gotta do one or the other. You can't waste money on both. So I stopped homebrewing, but this is my great-great-grandpa's bottler. Capper, I believe. I got that from my grandpa. Really cool. It does work. I got it on display now, so that's why that's there. Really neat piece. Another Funko Pop from Song of the Deep, and then my ColecoVision Flashback. Now, this shelf holds all of my Xbox stuff. Actually, my entire collection. When I built the shelf, it worked out strangely enough that it fits everything. Through Xbox One to the original Xbox. So you got my Xbox One games, 360. 360 was obviously my favorite system, previous console generation, and then we get into my original Xbox stuff. Really love the original Xbox too, was a huge fan of it in that generation. And then coming across, we've got a boxed copy of Little Nightmares for the PS4, all my PS2 games. I'm not a big PS2 collector, in fact most of these games I got at the 25-cent sale a couple years ago upon America. Haven't played a bunch of them, but they're there and they were cheap. My PS3 games, a little bit more PS2, and then up to my PS4. As you can see, that is pretty much full already. I'm a big into PS4 this generation, and I built all these shelves myself. If you're curious on how I did that, I did a video. My previous video, you can check that out. I kind of made everything the right depth to hold games, so I can just kind of get under there. No wasted space, I don't have to double anything up. That was a big problem in my old game room. Games weren't that accessible, and it became a problem because I couldn't see them or get at them easily, so I didn't play them. So here is a little bit of a bittersweet shelf. I ended up putting all my Amiibo on here and a bunch of World of Nintendo toys. I really got into Amiibo and got sucked in like a sap, and I have not really wanted to collect them lately. I've stopped buying them actually. But when I decided to move the game room, I told my wife I was going to put these away just in storage, and she asked me, how much did you spend on those? And then I did the math and she's like, no, you spent that much money, you're displaying them, so I guess she's got a point. So here's all my damn Amiibo. They're just kind of placeholders for now. As I add more games to the collection, these will start getting packed up. But I gotta say, it does look pretty damn nice on display, even if they do just kind of make me a little bit sad every time I see them. So moving over, got a window here. I boxed in around this with the frame, the shelves kind of around the window frame. I've got just a random weird fight stick for the NES. Couple arcade marquees I put up there because they look cool during the day. The light comes through and they kind of glow. Also keeps some of the light down so I don't have like sun fading on my collection. I'm always kind of paranoid about that. Just some little figurines. This is a World of Nintendo, no, Club Nintendo thing. I think it's from 2011. Got the Super Mario 2 glass. Got this collection of characters there. Little NES belt buckle, Metroid, Nintendo figure, and then of course the Yoshi Epic Yarn or Mega Yarn Yoshi Amiibo. And then as we go down, we get into the Wii U stuff. I actually really like the Wii U. I know it's not a very well-loved system, but there's a lot of amazing games on it. There's a lot of shit, too, but a lot of the first-party titles, there's a good dozen or so, and even stuff like Bayonetta 2 that you should just pick up and not miss out on. So I had a pretty good collection for that. And then we get into the GameCube. I haven't really gone back because I just set this game room up and organized everything yet, so I'm going to do some more work on that. Rearranging games, getting the player's choice and stuff like that all together. And then we get down to the Wii. Got a couple collector's set boxes there. And then next to that, this kind of completes the Nintendo wall. My NES collection and Super Nintendo, we get up here, we've got some box items, got some Aladdin Deck Enhancer games, factory sealed, new old stock. Arkanoid, I've got that complete in box with the controller. Really happy to have that one, my wife's favorite NES game. A couple other box accessories. We get into my loose Famicom carts, a few box ones there, and then a Famicom Disk System game, the only one I have. I don't have the player. I just thought it looked cool and I wanted to have a Disk System game, and it's a Mario Golf, of course, or just golf. My 64 collection. I really don't care for the 64, so that's my very, very small collection. I'm not even going to go into the games because, to be honest, they're not that interesting. A copy of Hotel Mario for the Philips CDI. One of the best things I've found out game hunting, at least the most interesting piece, I think, from a history standpoint. I found that at a local thrift store. We get into my meager Super Nintendo collection. A couple Famicom, Super Famicom games in there, Rockman 7. Again, you know, my Super Nintendo collection isn't anything to be proud of. A lot of dirty carts. And then we get into the NES stuff. Got some 8-bit Christmas. I've been getting those the last few years as a gift from my wife around the holidays. And then my favorite part of my collection, my NES collection. And I built this shelf so that I could really kind of fill it up with NES ultimately and move the other games out. As you can see, I got a pretty sizable start on that collection. I love the NES, it's my favorite system to collect for. And as we come around, this is kind of like the catch-all shelf for everything else, all the miscellaneous or misfit systems for the most part. But up top, I still have a continuation of my NES collection. I've got the NES Classic Edition, my Midwest Retro Gaming Society member pin, Quick Shot boxed, got a satellite, a Acclaim wireless controller, a couple god-awful QuickShot controllers, and then just some box games. I do have more box NES stuff, I just didn't have room to put it out, and these somehow ended up in some miscellaneous boxes when I was setting up near the end, so they just ended up here. Box factory sealed copy of Taboo, awful game. If you're going to have one sealed, I highly recommend that one because it's not worth unwrapping to play. And then this is a homebrew game, Haunted Halloween 86. Fun homebrew. And then we get into my Jaguar shelf. So I've got a box controller, a couple other Atari games just to kind of bring the Atari theme together. Atari 5200, we got Dig Dug, E.T. Again, it's famous for being awful, so I kind of like just to have it on display. I don't have my other Atari games out because I really don't play them anymore and I don't keep the system hooked up. I do have a couple boxed Atari 5200 controllers. Well, actually not boxed, just boxes. I got them for free, and there's another one back behind here. We got Pac-Man as we go down. This is actually a complete in-box Mario Brothers for the Atari 5200. Really cool artwork. I love the design on that. And then I got these figures to kind of set with it, tie it all together. And then my spectacular Atari Jaguar collection. I think I've got about half the cartridge-based games now. I don't have the CD or anything. Here's my boxed games. I really like to collect for the Jaguar because it was a system that I didn't have growing up and I always wanted it. I thought it would be so cool. But really all the games are pretty much garbage. It's just kind of like paying money to torture yourself. But it's neat, and I do play with it occasionally. This is a VHS for Street Fighter II Turbo. I got that at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. My Game Boy Micro, my Neo Geo Pocket Color. There's the bag for it. All the games are in there. And then this is my Wonder Swan. The two boxed complete games I have for it. The other ones I've got loose in another area of the game room. We can look at that later. I started the Dreamcast collection here. Not a huge Dreamcast collection, but I really love that system. My super small Sega Saturn collection. Warcraft 2 probably being my notable game. And then we get Seaman. Gotta have your Seaman out on display. Loose card Genesis stuff. Again, I'm not a big Genesis guy, but I've got a fairly good stack of loose cartridges here. I do have complete ones here. Also, Master System loose games. The Power Base Mini, which is what I use to play them most of the time on my Retron 5. It's just easier than hooking up another console. And then my complete Master System games. Getting down here, I made a little space for the 3DO long boxes. Because you know what, they're just hard to display on a normal shelf. They don't really fit anything too well. And then I've got a couple board games, Turbografx book, Game Genie guide, my game collection for the Neo Geo X Gold, and my beloved and small collection of Turbografx 16 games. Got a bunch of loose hue cards here too. Love that system, play it to death. I got an EverDrive for it recently, well, a few months back, and I've been playing it all the time. Some more 3DO games down here. PO'd is a great one. Well, I don't know if it's great, but it's a fun game for the 3DO, which says something. Then we've got Link just hanging out in the corner here. We move up. A TV, arcade sign, the Combat Tribes, another marquee, not a very well-known game. And then we move across, and we've got a Mega Man pixel art. That was given to me by the Game Hunters, COE33 and Leaf. An NES Remix poster. On this shelf, my Virtual Boy and stack of games, about half the library that was released. Not that it's a big library. Surprise, Nintendo Switch. I just got this yesterday. My 10th wedding anniversary is coming up, and I came downstairs and my wife left this here in the game room as a surprise gift for me, which was really awesome. I haven't, obviously, as you can see, gotten it set up yet. I've had it out and been playing with it, but I don't have the base or anything set up. My TV, the only unfortunate thing I will say right now is currently with this game room and moving, I don't have a CRT TV set up, which isn't ideal. I do want to remedy that. So I'll probably be on the lookout for like a nice small PVM in the future, but for now, this is what it is. And then I've got my Switch just sitting here, my switcher for the AV cables. I need to get one for my HDMI, I haven't done it yet. And then on to the entertainment center. Now I built this myself too, along with the shelves, just because it's really hard to just find a nice entertainment center that will display this many consoles, so I had to just build it, and I wanted to leave the top shelf higher so I could get cartridges in and out of top loading systems. So we can start off. I've got my NES top loader, Retron 5, more of a convenience piece. I don't play all my games on it, but it's handy in a lot of situations. My GameCube with the Game Boy Advance player. Down here on this thin shelf, we got a PlayStation 2, a Wii. It's going to be hard to see, but there's a PlayStation TV on top of it. Again, my Turbografx with the Turbo EverDrive still in it. My Panasonic 3DO, the Atari Jaguar, Neo Geo X Gold, Saturn, Dreamcast Sports Edition, 360, Xbox One, original Xbox, and my N64. So over here we've got just some extra games, Box Donkey Kong, or Jungle Beat, or Donkey Kong, yeah, Jungle Beat, that's right. In here I'm keeping odds and ends, some Tiger handhelds, all my Game Boy Advance, some memory cards. I've got a Wii Mini back in the corner there for some reason, and some of my Wonder Swan games are in here. This shelf, I've got my 3DS, well, my 2DS, my new 2DS XL, I guess. Pat Contry's NES Guide, this Nintendo Power book, and this awesome Guys, Games, and Beer Caddy. Those guys are great. They gave this to me at MGC last year. Check out Guys, Games, and Beer if you can at guysgamesandbeer.net, as you can see. I am currently using it to hold my consoles, my handhelds, which works out really great. And if I need a bottle opener, I got one. So that is what that is doing there. Tucked away in the corner, for good reason, is a Hyperscan in this box. It will probably stay there forever. And then you're probably wondering what I do with my accessories. Now this rug, I don't need to learn to count. This is actually just an old rug from my kids' room. I'm going to replace that. I haven't gotten around to it yet. Here's my little sofa with my stupid little 8-bit pillows. Then underneath, I actually keep some more stuff. This is where I've got a lot of my controllers and accessories. I do have a Retron 2 or Retron 3 down there, which I use because the Retron 5 pulls save files, and I don't want to lose a lot of my childhood saves, and that thing just saves space. I do have the original consoles, of course. We've got more controllers under here. So, kind of nice, keeps everything out of the way. And you know what? That that is my game room. Super happy with how it turned out. Everything is easy to get to, easy to play. I think it looks really clean and nice. And the thing is this is in our downstairs living room now, and I wanted it to just look well presented because it's part of the house that everyone's going to see as they come in. So I wanted it to look more organized and clean than I did in my other room, and I think I pulled that off. I don't have quite as much stuff on display, but you know what, I still got a ton of stuff on display, so I'm happy with it, and it's working really well to just sit down and enjoy some retro goodness, which I'll be doing later tonight. So thank you for watching, as always, and I will talk to you next time. And if you're interested in what my last room looked like, check out the 2016 tour. Thanks for watching.